Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside quarantine editions of the episode. Joining me today, we have Hoppa Fett, also known as the Mandalorian, the Liege of Lego, the Master of Memes, and the Sultan of Smoked Meat.
Also known as James.
Nice to meet you, James. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking time into your schedule. Let's start with sharing a virtual beer.
Okay.
So let my audience know what you're drinking.
I'm drinking Headbanger by Strathcona. It's a triple IPA at 9.5% with Citra Mosaic. It's probably the best triple IPA out there. I'm drinking it out of a custom, well, not custom, but it's very exclusive glass. It's called It's Not Liquid. You got the Scrooge McDuck and
Peter breaking
Griffin.
himself. That's
and
awesome.
This is done by a buddy down in Florida. His Instagram is Idiot 404, but with some certain like numbers in the letters inside.
Okay, cool.
It's
yeah,
hard to say, but
we'll definitely have to post that in the show notes. I don't know if it's available in Vancouver. Unfortunately, Vancouver beer is difficult to get out here in Quebec. But I have from Brook Brewing.
Ooh.
It is the Cafe del Bastardo. It is a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout coming in at 10%, I believe, 11.9%. So I'll be having a happy evening with this.
Yes, absolutely.
This is always a solid beer. I love the Brook barrel aged series that they do every year. So let's do a virtual toast. A toast. Let's see. Clean.
Cheers, Carp.
Cheers. Oh, always a good beer.
I've had the Bastard series at Hopwired a couple years. And I had a couple buddies out east who managed to send me some. I think I got the Wonky Bastard.
Yeah.
I've got the Cafe de Bastard, the standard Kentucky Bastard, and I think the only one I didn't get was the Wino Bastard.
Yeah, I actually started cellaring this year, so last year. So I'm looking forward to doing the 2019, 2020. Or the year that shall never be named again, and then 2021 when I can get back together, when we're all vaccinated and able to hang out with when this is all over, hopefully sooner than later. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, cool. So the Hoppa Fett story. What brought you to Beer Instagram? What created the character? Let's get to know about you.
I don't really remember. I think my Instagram name before was just my name, and then I started to all these craft breweries started appearing and showing up a lot more in private stores. So, every time I went up to the store, instead of grabbing like Coors or Budweiser or Heineken, I'd go into the single cellar and pick one here, pick one there, and just make myself a little mix pack. And so I started taking pictures of those beers with like all of my Legos, because, I have a decent collection. And it just became a thing. I was like, you know what? My name is not really representing what my feed is, so I decided I gotta change my name. Something to do with Boba Fett. He's the best. He's just the best. Boba. Hoppa. Hops. My favorite beer is IPA. Hoppa Fett. There we go. Yeah, mind blown.
Yeah, just like the Death Star exploding. Nice big
exactly
pop. Cool. That's awesome. Like we mentioned pre-show, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Despite how much people crap on the new trilogy, it's still like it's Star Wars. So
it's Star Wars content, and I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, and then Disney Plus with the Mandalorian is just like, yeah, this is awesome. So,
and if that's the sign of things to come, then we're in the clear. We're good.
John Favreau seems to save everything. So.
Yeah. Wow, Marvel? Unreal.
Yeah. Perfect. So where did your beer journey begin? Do you remember like, I'm going to start trying this craft beer stuff instead of Coors or the BMCs as we call them, the Bud, Molson Coors? Like what kind of made you shift? Hey, maybe I want taste in my beer.
I think that's pretty much it. I think when my eldest was born, he's now 8. After that happened, I was kind of going a bit more for quality over quantity, and I started cooking a lot more. So you want to have something, a good quality beverage with whatever you're eating. So I think that was just my my little intro to craft beer, and yeah, I guess about 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, I gotta say that's great. Do you remember like one of the first couple of craft beers that really like started that journey?
I remember my first growler was Parallel 49 Filthy Dirty IPA. That was yeah, that's still a really good one. Um, but other than that, I just kind of dabbled in every single beer style. I just wanted to try it all. I wanted to know what my favorite was, um, what I preferred, and I really just narrowed it down to IPAs and stouts. The more flavor, the better. I like Scotch a lot, so the flavor profile has to be high for me. So
Yeah.
I don't really drink lagers and pilsners and all that stuff.
Yeah, that happened to me a few. My craft beer journey actually started with like a strawberry blonde at a local brew pub here in Montreal called Brewtopia. And then I'm like, beer can have flavor. What? I don't have to drink 40s in a back alley with my friends playing hacky sack, huh? So, and then I don't know what the beer festival in the before times. I don't know what the beer festival situation's like in your area of Vancouver, but like here in Montreal, we have the Mondial, the World Beer Festival, and
Yep.
it's everywhere. They bring in beer from Brazil and Norway and
Oh
stuff,
wow.
and you expand it from there. It's expensive, obviously. Downtown Montreal, probably the more expensive festival. Uh, and then I'm going for beers I can't get locally. So it's like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
have the Sam Adams Utopia, which cost me $20 for 2 ounces. Like that's
See,
where
that
it
would be
goes.
worth it. That would be so worth it.
Yeah, it's
The beer festival scene in Vancouver is quite strong. Uh, we every year we have the VCBW, which is like the main core one, and outside attached to that during the festival, it's like a week long. There's all sorts of auxiliary festivals going on. Like there's a sour beer festival that happens at Devil's Elbow. Uh,
nice.
and in the recent years, VCBW was bringing in a lot more international beers. Like Ballast Point, and there was some like Jester King, and then the one I mentioned before, Hopwired, which is my personal favorite. Uh, it's based around coffee,
Okay.
so it's like all craft beer related to coffee, and there's also coffee roasters there. It's an amazing event. That one, they really started to bring in a lot more international and well-known beers.
Sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all these things returning. 2022 realistically, but there's hope for
There's
those of us
it's there.
who
Those vaccines are going out.
yeah, for those of us who are living through our first pandemic, we're seeing hope. So it's great. Okay, so first I want to mention the Lego. How are you with like $230,000 in debt from all the Lego you have, or?
Go and tell my wife.
No, I love like I don't know where your inspiration and style came from with the adding the Lego, more or less Star Wars Lego, obviously, but
Yeah.
the Lego with the beer. It's kind of like Beers and Pops, who I also spoke with. She was very passionate about having a story behind each beer
Oh yeah.
with a pop, and I'm seeing that with yours is having a story of your Lego characters with a beer. What kind of made you decide like this is what a lot of my Instagram needs to be?
Like I said, I was trying a lot of different types of beers, and I was really basing them off of the can. Um, so I would kind of think, what kind of Legos do I have at home, and how could I bring this beer into it, whether it's based on the name or the style or literally the artwork. So I would do that, and a lot of the times when I cracked the can and tasted it, it was hit or miss, right? So I decided I wasn't gonna be a guy to rate beers or like really critique them, and I just kind of just thought it'd be fun to make a story and just kind of put the beer and the Lego together in its own story in a post.
No, very cool. And I love the concept. It's Geek Chic is the kind of way to go. It's beer geek. It's not. I don't hear beer nerd as much as I hear like beer geek. And the geeks are taking over the earth. if Big Bang Theory has anything to say over the last decade of controlling television and being number one, it's um, we're all geeking out about this stuff. It's just like talking to brewers about the passion. It's like it's kind of how geeks would focus on one thing. It's the same thing when speaking with brewers or Instagrammers or anybody involved in the craft beer industry, influencer down. Just you hear the passion, and that's like something that used to be, I find it like a misnomer where people would be like, oh no, you can't just be interested in one thing, but now you can because we have access to so much vital information and awesome things like Zoom and YouTube where we get to talk and speak about our passion. It's just it's there. Like we're beer geeks. There's no negative to me. There's no negative connotation with beer geeks. So
there really isn't. I mean, you're enjoying a product and you're geeking out about the taste, the flavor, the profile, the appearance, and how fast you can drink it, the percentage. There's all sorts of things that come around a single beer. I mean, and a lot of times a beer has special meaning to you as well. It's like, oh, I remember when we were on that beach and I had that one can and I drank it, and you connect experiences to your beer. You can geek out about it. It's okay nowadays.
So your stories, the food. How are you not like 700 pounds? Because oh my god, the smoker and just it. That's another thing you obviously have passion about is barbecue and smoker. Where does like it's all combined? Like you said, you want to add flavors. How are you not like? I would be gigantic.
Well, I'm definitely a lot bigger than when I first started. A lot bigger, but it's all about moderation. A little smaller portions spread out over a longer time.
I mean, for food right now, it's you and it's all sauced in Toronto. She makes some fantastic food from what I've seen. And Montreal is having, thankfully, like a burgeoning scene as well when it comes to food. I mean, because we're just like Vancouver, it's multicultural. It's multicultural here in Montreal as well. But we also have the more European influence, I'd say, than you probably have in Vancouver. Sure. But now I have a friend, he works at an American barbecue smokehouse. And it's just like, oh, I guess I'm getting the ribs today. Oh, I'm guessing getting the brisket. And it's like, where was this when I had a faster metabolism so I wouldn't be so fat?
Right? So it's true. Yeah. I wish I started this when I was, a teenager. I wish I had a passion for it, but it didn't happen until I was in my 30s.
Yeah. It's pain in the butt, but hey, with everything comes more taste, and I'm sure the smokehouses and stuff in Vancouver, they have a great craft beer selection, like our smokehouses here do in Montreal. So
yeah, it goes hand in hand up here.
That's awesome. With the Instagram or with the cooking, have you collabed with any breweries?
No, not yet.
Good. Is that something you'd like to do?
That'd be really cool. Yeah, something in the future. Maybe when all this is done, there could be an opportunity to. I don't know.
You bet Mega Beer Man and the other guys from the Beardles get together and do a collab beer to brewery or something.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Hint.
Well, I'm going to ask you later on some of your favorites, so maybe just send a hint out to them and we'll add them in the tags and notes. So with your cooking though, is there a passion or are you homebrewing at all?
No, I try to do that. There was one available at Chapters or Indigo like years back. It was just like this little contained pack, and I tried it. I don't think I did it right, and it didn't come out well. So that's literally the only time I've ever tried. I don't have many friends who are brewers around, like in my neighborhood or like close by. So it's kind of hard to get to my friends who are doing that. But
could you see if you have a little more time? I mean, obviously you have kids, but maybe when they're a little older, maybe the little Absolutely. Less time you're going to spend with them, the little more time you put into a side project like that.
I'd really like to. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting the equipment, kind of taking your time and just getting your hands dirty and just doing it, and then figuring out your mistakes and doing a batch and then a batch and then a batch, and yeah, it just takes time.
Yeah, you're in the heart of Vancouver, or you're just on the outskirts, or where are you roughly?
We're down kind of the South Vancouver area, close to the airport, along Fraser River.
Cool.
Musqueam territory.
What are some of your like favorite local breweries that if I were to come to Vancouver, I've never been, it sucks. If I were to come to Vancouver, we meet up. What are like the top 5 places we're gonna hit so I can drink some beer with you?
Okay, let's go to Strathcona. Let's go to Andina, Superflux, Lupolo. Let's just go with those 4 for right now.
Okay. Superflux sounds familiar to me. I think Mega Beerman. I think he mentioned. I can't.
Yeah,
It's
he probably mentioned them.
Yeah, I've heard just so many breweries that are being told to me, and I'm just like, yeah, I should drink try them all. And like you mentioned,
of course, for fellow Beardles members' sake, Simon, I'll take him to Dagrad just for you. Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So yeah, if I remember Vancouver, definitely places to check out. If you're ever here in Montreal, I can't even name 5. There's so many. It's do you want 5 with? Yeah.
You only have Dieu du Ciel come out here, and it's or like, I mean, there's also like Unibrow, but other than that, personally, I don't have much knowledge of the Quebec beer scene, although I'm sure it's giant.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I know in English it's Fifth Baron, in French it's Cinquième Baron. They were one of the top 5 new breweries in the world.
Really?
Yeah, and they're just above Ottawa. So it's a place called Gatineau. It's literally Ottawa, a river, Gatineau.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
So they're pretty awesome. And I've spoken with Third Moon in Milton, Ontario. Those guys, they were number 3 in the world. So in Canada, out of the top 10, we had 2 of the top 5 in new breweries in the world. So I love hearing that stuff. Yeah. That's
incredible.
Yeah. How is the expanding beer scene in the Vancouver area? I know in Montreal, in Quebec, we're like, I'd say about 3 to 4 a quarter at the moment. Ontario is, I guess Doug Ford's just like make breweries and bring me government money. Like it's just every week in Ontario. I don't know what BC's like or even just the Vancouver area.
I mean, in the Vancouver area, there's very, very much limited space, and obviously it's Vancouver, and it's really expensive to get some space. But East Van is also known as like Yeast Van. I think Paul said that, and it's kind of expanding outwards towards like up Clark. That's where Superflux is. Lupolo is up on Venables. But the urban sprawl is such that so many people have moved out to Langley and Surrey, which is like 45 minutes away. And now that's becoming a giant community. And they've got a whole bunch of breweries popping up now. They've got Camp, Trading Post, Farm Country, 5 Roads. So like that's becoming a destination as well. It's really cool to see. And of course, North Van has Beer Brewing, House of Funk, Wild Eye, Sidecar. It's just basically expanding to where there's space, which is very limited downtown.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. House of Funk sounds awesome. If it's a music venue as well, that's kind of perfect. So
it would be, huh?
Yeah,
they should like kind of hybrid with like House of Blues style and kind of expand and have a stage. And
here in Montreal, we used to have a place called House of Jazz. I'm like, the location is perfect. It would have been a great brewery. Unfortunately, COVID killed them because people aren't going to see live jazz when it's not really great to be in Montreal at the moment. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate. I don't know what Vancouver's like. I assume you guys are green some places, gray, orange other places. So
it's it's touch and go. Like we've been, because we have kids and we're part of a little community, we've been quite diligent in our in protecting ourselves and keeping ourselves safe. I've been working at home since, I think, almost to the day a year ago. My wife's been doing online courses and teaching by correspondence at the same time. There was a time there last summer where, you know, BC was flattening that curve, and then Bonnie Henry said we could have some more some more leeway. That didn't work out well.
Yeah, I got a friend out in Vancouver. Well, we grew up together since we were like 5. Grew up the street from each other. He moved into Vancouver a few years ago. We were talking. He's like, "Dude, the numbers are looking great in Vancouver. Make your way out." My response is, "I'm not getting in a recycled air place. Sitting on a plane for 4 to 6 hours. It's not happening. Sorry, dude. I love you and all, and I miss you, but no, it's not happening." But you know, that's one of my future beercations. That's something I like to ask people is, this is the caveat I have to add. I add 2 caveats to this. One, it's safe to get in that cylindrical tube again with recycled air, and you don't have to wear a mask. And everybody is, you know, we have herd immunity. Well, most people are vaccinated, and it's herd immunity, and we don't have to worry about COVID killing our grandparents when we visit them. What are a couple of beercations you want to go on? Now, the other ones I add are one where money is very much a factor, and the second one is where money is no factor whatsoever.
Okay, I can go with that. Well, a year ago, it was literally the following week when my boys' spring break was going to start that we were supposed to go down to Bellingham. And we go down to Bellingham maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and it's our happy place. You know, we go down there, we get a little hotel room, we go to all the breweries, we go to Elizabeth Station, and that's our beercation. That's where we like to go. There's a zoo down there, food is great. So if the borders open, when the borders open, that's the first spot, like immediately, or as soon as we feel it's okay.
And one where you'd like to go on, but money is still a factor that you've never been to before. Now, I know you just got obviously Oregon and Washington below British Columbia. Have you been to those places? Or
Oregon was also supposed to be, I think, our 10th year anniversary. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that Oregon is one that I would like to spend at least a week at. I mean, yeah, of course, there's LA. There's a lot of stretch of, you know, Russian River up here, and then you got Monkish all the way down there. You got the places in Florida.
Could you see yourself being in that Russian River Pliny the Elder lineup at any point?
I know I don't line up for stuff.
Yeah, I know. I heard that they weren't allowing like people to be in line for you this year, and I'm like, no. Now, ultimate beercation. Let's say you could drop the kids off at grandma and grandpa's for a couple of weeks, just you and the wife. What's the ultimate beercation? Europe, Asia, South Africa. Like, where do you see yourself going?
I think, you know, it may be cliche, but we got to go to Belgium. Got to
Awesome.
make the pilgrimage at some point in life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm all about Belgium. You know, I look like a monk. So I actually
for questions and directions.
Yeah, I actually did it one Halloween where I actually did like shave the sides and had just the side, and I was wearing the robes, the big cross, and walking around with a beer. And they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm a patron saint of beer, obviously." So yeah,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Belgium, like hitting all those Trappist places. That's on the list.
I mean, like I'm not huge into Belgians, but I mean, I've tried West Flaterre 12, and it's still at the top of my list of best beers I've ever had. And you know, once you're in Belgium, you know, you go to everywhere around there as well. It's the epicenter of beer.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm in Belgium. Oh, Germany's right over there. Oh, England's not that far. Oh, here's not that far. So
train ride away from everywhere else. It's amazing too.
I think their beer scene's going to die because of it, but somebody brought to me at my current employer, South Africa apparently had quite the beer scene, craft beer scene starting to burgeon. Unfortunately, with COVID, the government said no tobacco, no alcohol because it'll spread COVID. So I have a bad feeling a lot of these places are going to shut down. But if it doesn't, South Africa is like outside of Europe because that's your homeland. But that's number 2 for me is South Africa. Johannesburg, Cape Town. Apparently, the beer scene there is mind blowing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, there's actually a doc. I think it's called Brewing the Republic or something like that. It's probably on Amazon Prime or Netflix or something. So if you ever have, I think it was 45 minutes, definitely check it out. So it's very cool.
What's it called again?
I believe it was Brewing the Republic.
Brewing the Republic.
Yeah, just type. Yeah, just Google like South African beer doc and you'll get it right there. So okay. Awesome. Now I know you have a gear store as well.
I do.
What's some of the gear that you're promoting and selling?
Oh my God. It's pretty ridiculous. There's like anything. So like, there's phone cases, obviously. There's t-shirts. there's magnets, like stickers, pins, your usual sweaters, long sleeve shirts. There's also like bath mats and shower curtains and blankets, duvet set, backpacks, shoes, travel mugs, coffee mugs, notebooks.
So pretty much anything you could slap your label on.
Pretty much.
Awesome. Is it at home or is it print on demand?
Oh gosh, print on demand. It's a third party thing. Yeah, no. I don't have stacks of all these things at home. No.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely add that in the show notes. So anybody who wants to buy your gear, obviously, we'll go through there. That's great. Where do you see like the Beardles, your own Instagram? Where do you see that all kind of growing in the future when things are a little less shut down? You guys go out and you're starting to promote the Beardles and you're hitting breweries. Where do you see that growth coming from?
Well, I mean, Beardles started off as just a conversation. I don't think any of us think it's a real future money grabber or I don't know. It's not like a business plan. It's literally just 4 guys just having fun with beer and Star Wars conversation and anything that's cool to watch on TV or any of the streaming apps. But if there's opportunities to go and have a collaboration beer with a brewery, that would be really cool. Personally, for my personal account, I don't really care. I don't really know. I'm just gonna keep on putting stuff out. People like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Viewers, check out this Instagram, especially if you're, beer geek chic like us. This is the place to check out. If you're some sort of beer geek, you're likely a Lego fan, Mandalorian, Boba Fett. That's the way to go. Star Trek sucks. It's the way to go. So,
well, this is the way.
Yes, exactly. This is the way. So 100%, I really appreciate you taking time in your schedule today. Let the people know where they can find you.
I'm only on Instagram, Hoppa Fett, HOPPAFETT. And that's it. Come and find me. Come talk to me. I like talking about beer. I like talking about Lego. I like talking about Star Wars.
Perfect. So all that's going to be in the show notes. You'll be able to click on it in the show notes. As for us, allbeerinside.com is the website, at All Beer Inside everywhere else. If you want to follow me, it's at Killer Carpe Diem. And as I say at the end of all shows, drink craft, not crap. Awesome. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you taking time in your schedule today.
Thanks, Carp.